Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So last week, I think it was, I did a favorites video. What is wrong with me? I did a favorites video and so many of you guys asked to see a tutorial of the makeup look that I was wearing in that video. And I was really surprised because it's such an easy look and I think it's perfect for springtime. I think I could wear this in the day. I mean, I did actually last time I filmed in the morning and I wound up wearing this out all day and didn't feel like I was wearing too much. Sometimes I'll film a video and go out after and I feel kind of like I'm just wearing too much makeup, you know, for like a Tuesday afternoon, and that's what it was. So yeah, I felt really fine and it just felt really springtime appropriate. I felt really comfortable. So yeah, anyways, if you guys are interested in seeing how I created this look, then just keep on watching and you'll see. Hey! So I'm gonna start with this, whoa, that went everywhere, YSL Blur Primer. I'm just gonna put this pretty much everywhere, just a light wash of it. I just washed my face like literally 5 minutes ago, so I have argan oil on my face, so I'm not gonna start out with the Makeup Forever Skin Booster that I've been using, just because I feel like I don't need it since I just put argan oil on like a couple minutes ago. So yeah. I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Pro Glow with the Sigma 3D HD Kabuki and just put that everywhere. Yeah, I was really happy to see that so many of you guys wanted to see this look from my favorites video because I enjoyed wearing the look. I wound up wearing it all day because I filmed that video really early in the morning and then wore that look for the rest of the day and I really liked it. It was definitely wearable for like, it was like a Tuesday that I filmed that, so. That's cute. Alright, yeah. Clearly I have to take this hat off for a little bit. I didn't want to because I have hat hair because I wore a hat yesterday too. And it's just a little flat. Don't mind me. Alright, so now I'm going to conceal my under eyes with the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm also going to mix it with the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 20. I just actually like the way the mixture comes out, the color. But you conceal with what you want to conceal with. Do you see how much darker this Maybelline concealer is? It gives it just a lot more of a natural look. In my opinion, you know, I throw that word natural around way too often. So clearly I'm just going, I keep forgetting, like I'm so used to doing voiceovers nowadays. I forget to say what I'm doing. Anyways, I'm using the diamond sponge just to blend all of this concealer out. Alright, so now I'm just going to go in with a little bit of cream contour using the Tarte Park Ave, oh wait no, it's called the Tarte Sculptor. There's no words on this anymore, but I like to use this just for a tiny bit. I actually do it as like, kind of like a pre-bronze. I don't always like to call it contour just because it's a little warm for me to actually do a full-blown contour with, so I just like to say like, oh, I'm just gonna do like a pre-bronzer type of thing, you know? I just like to do it because it gives my skin a lot more dimension and makes my life easier when I start to bronze. Alright, so now I'm just going to set my under eyes just a tiny bit with some Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Powder. Just the tiniest bit because my skin has been a little bit dry recently. So, and also I want this to be pretty dewy and luminous. So I'm really only going to set the part that I think has risk of creasing. Alright, so now I'm just priming and prepping my eyes for eyeshadow with the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. And this brush just is from Sonia Kashuk. It's just like a little duo fiber brush. And I really like to apply the primer with this. I used to do more of like a flat concealer brush, but this one works a lot better in my opinion because it doesn't cake it on. And it gives a pretty even application. I just really like it. I do this every single time I put way too much powder on. So I'm right now just putting some loose powder on my eyelids right after I primed because that will make the blending process so unbelievably easy when it comes to the eyeshadow because trust me, sometimes I'll forget to set it and it is so patchy and just horrible. So take the extra step and just put some powder on your lids. Trust me, it'll make a world of difference. So what I originally did with this look, because I really had no direction when I sat down that day to film, so I started out by going in with Raw Sienna by Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is honestly just like a light orangey brown transition shade. So you could go in with any of your standard transition shades that you use, but I didn't put too much of this on and I just took it in my upper crease and just kind of blended it out like I would for most makeup looks. like I said, I had no direction. I had no idea I was even going to be doing color. So I just started out this look, but in the end I wound up liking the fact that I did this, so I'm going to do that again. Alright, so now I'm just going to blend this shade out with an LS R25 blending brush. Just going to, you know, quickly do that. This is when I decided to go in with the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette. And I started out with the shade Meow, which is really just like a purple shade. And I just started putting it on my lid. Also, I'm applying a lot of this. I'm just really building up the color because when you first apply it, it's pretty sheer. It's supposed to be like a pastel shade. So I really kept applying and applying and applying to give it that pop of purple. So now I'm going to take the shade Dope and I'm going to put this on, focus it on my outer corner really. And as you can see, it really kind of pops right there. So I focused it on my outer corner and then really build that up and just kept on building. And I also kind of brought it in. I remember I wanted to give the eye a little bit more dimension because it was kind of just like a flat purple look, but I also wanted to keep it pretty purple. So that's when I added this, and I really liked the way that it combined and looked in the end. So yeah. So now I'm just going to flip the brush over that had Dope on it and put the shade Meow back on it, which is that first shade that I was working with. And I'm just going to go back in on the lid and build up that color again. So I'm having trouble remembering what I did for the lower lash line because I remember I didn't just put the purple there. What I think I did is I took the shade Warm Taupe from the Modern Renaissance palette and I took it on the Sigma E36 brush and just did a light wash to start. I'm just going to mix a little bit of Meow and Dope on that same brush that I was just using and put that a little bit on the lower lash line outer corner. Just kind of bring it down in. Alright, so now I'm just going to take a little bit of Cypress Umber on this little waterline brush and just take a little bit close to my lash line because I remember I definitely wanted my eyes to be defined. Alright, now I'm just going to take a little bit of that shade Meow on the E36 brush and just put it on the inner, kind of like blend it into that bottom lash line so that it looks like it fades in and then out. Alright, so now I'm going to take the Kat Von D Alchemist palette and I'm going to dip into the shade Ultraviolet Amethyst. And I'm going to put this on my inner corner. Alright, I'm just going to pop on some mascara real quick. I'm probably going to wind up going out of frame for this, so I'm going to go off of camera to do this, but I'm just using the Tarteist mascara. Okay, so I just put on some lashes off of camera. These are the ones that I wear every single time, let's be real. They're the Ramsley Worldwide Lashes. I love these and I'm running out. These ones are like my last pair and they're like falling apart right now. I need to order more like ASAP. Alright, so now I'm just going to take this NYX Face Art, basically just eyeliner in the shade Purple Blaze, and I'm also going to take the shade Sunrise Blue, and they're just little eyeliners, and I'm just going to start off with the purple one. I'm going to put it in my waterline. It's not the most pigmented, but it does have pigment. So now I'm going to take the blue one, and I'm just going to kind of go over it a little bit. I don't know why, but I felt the need to do both. But you know, it's just me being extra. If you only have a purple, if you only have a blue, just use one. You don't need both, being real. But that's what I did, and I want to show you that. So now let's move right onto the face. What I'm going to do, of course, is just bronze up a little bit. Not that much since I already did the cream bronzing, but I'm just going to use the Tarte Park Ave Princess and just go a little bit on my cheekbones, my forehead, and a little bit on my nose. I'm going to do what I did earlier, and I'm going to mix the Kat Von D Ultraviolet Amethyst shade with the Mary Luminizer, and I'm really not going to put too much of the ultraviolet shade just because it's really intense, and I don't want I want it to still be wearable, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be too purple, I guess the word is. But to put a little bit of highlighter on my chin and my forehead. I definitely would not recommend doing this if you have oily skin or even slightly oily skin, but since I'm erring on the side of dry recently, I like to put highlighter basically everywhere on my face. Alright, now I'm going to put some blush on. I'm just using a little light pink blush. This is Milani Romantic Rose. And I'm going to apply it with the Ellis RO2 brush. Alright, so of course I have to set my face, and I'm going to use the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Spray, my fave. So I remember I really wanted like a very light wash of pink on my lips. I didn't want anything too pigmented because I was really going for more of a natural look on that day, you know. I didn't want to look too overdone. So I just took the ColourPop shade Westie and just did a really, really, really light wash on all of my lips. All 2 of them. Alright you guys, so I just did my hair and put back on my hat. I don't know why I love this hat so much, but I like always want to wear it. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, it was a really, really, really easy look, and I hope that it's really wearable for you. I know that some people might think it isn't wearable, but honestly, without lashes, this look still looks bomb. So if you guys don't like to wear lashes, then try it out without any, and I'm telling you, it still looks really good. So I'm just extra, to be honest. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I make videos every single Thursday, usually Sundays. I know the past couple of Sundays I haven't been able to put out a video, but that's because so much has been going on. This Sunday I had a family party. Like, we have a really big family party every single Palm Sunday, just like more of like a spring gathering party, you know what I mean? And that's like a really big event. And the weekend before that was I had to go to a 90th birthday party, and it was like a big party, and I had family staying with me, so it was like kind of a crazy weekend. And then the week before that, it's like the week before that I was sick. I had a sinus infection, so I know, excuses, excuses, excuses. But anyways, hopefully this Sunday I'll be back with another video to show you guys. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to. I think I have a pretty easy schedule this week. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!